Raw tension completely swallowed the Major League Soccer pitch on an electric, chaotic evening filled with sudden twists and pure drama. Lionel Messi put on yet another masterclass under the floodlights, unleashing a monumental, jaw-dropping goal that stunned the entire stadium. That strike poured fresh fuel onto the fiercest and most legendary race in modern football. The epic battle against Cristiano Ronaldo for the mythical throne of 1,000 career goals. But things boiled over completely right after that play, when Rodrigo De Paul lost his head and charged straight into the opposition in a furious, high-voltage clash. Drop your thoughts right down in the comments and let everyone know what you make of this wild showdown and the superstar midfielder backing up his captain. What should have been an unforgettable night celebrating the sheer brilliance and magic of Lionel Messi quickly spiraled out of control. The evening unraveled into an ugly scene of pure outrage and boiling frustration all across the inner Miami pitch. It came during an agonizing slump for the Florida club, stretching their miserable run to 5 straight matches without tasting a single victory. Even in the middle of that storm, the Argentine maestro reminded millions of supporters worldwide exactly why he stands as alone as the greatest to ever kick a ball. 82 minutes were already on the match clock when the magic finally exploded. It all sparked from the boots of Rodrigo De Paul. He remains the ultimate bodyguard and faithful enforcer for the number 10, both on the Argentina national squad and now inside the club locker room. Reading the play with surgical vision and absolute precision, De Paul sliced through the Toronto backline with a pinpoint pass that left the football king staring right down the barrel of goal. In the blink of an eye, Messi shifted into gear with that effortless, unmistakable burst of pace. He found himself face-to-face with the goalkeeper and calmly clipped a silky left-foot finish past the stranded defenders, tucking the ball cleanly into the bottom corner. It was an unbelievable piece of art. The exact kind of wonder strike that forces every single supporter off their seat in pure awe. That sensational finish did far more than simply pull the scoreline back to 2-1. It poured pure gasoline onto the most relentless and storied individual rivalry the sporting world has ever witnessed. The unforgiving pursuit of an unprecedented milestone, the historic race to reach 1,000 official career goals. With that piece of magic, Messi pushed his tally to a staggering 923 official goals in just over 1,000 appearances across his storied career. He continues breathing down the neck of Cristiano Ronaldo, who currently sits at the very top of the mountain with 977 goals in 1,330 matches. Exactly 54 goals now separate these two titans, turning every single fixture into an all-out war, where every ball hitting the back of the net carries monumental weight. And yet, while the crowd was still marveling at the pure genius of Messi's finish, the atmosphere on the pitch took a sharp and ugly turn for the worse. The looming defeat combined with Miami's fragile defending created a powder keg of pure frustration and raw panic across the squad. Toronto had seized their commanding lead thanks to a devastating 3-minute blitz in the opening half, punishing horrific defensive blunders through clinical finishes from Josh Sargent and Derek Tien. And right after Messi pulled that goal back, the entire match finally reached its breaking point. Rodrigo De Paul stood right there. Renowned for his fierce pride and refusal to back down from anyone, the Argentine battler found himself right in the epicenter of a wild benches-clearing melee. Seeing the rivals mocking his teammates and trying every psychological trick to rattle Miami's composure, the tireless midfielder did not hesitate for a single second before stepping up to shield his side and defend his closest brother, Lionel Messi. The spark ignited when De Paul marched straight into the face of defender Kusevic, furiously confronting him over a reckless, bone-crunching tackle that had crossed the line just moments before. Seconds later, completely boiling over with rage at the opposition's arrogance, De Paul locked horns with Mihailovic in a heated standoff that brought the entire stadium to a sudden halt. That explosive reaction laid bare the sheer desperation and hunger driving him to drag his team back into the fight no matter what the cost. It proved one vital truth. Even in the midst of a bitter defeat and an alarming slump for Inter Miami, the safety and respect owed to Captain Lionel Messi will never, ever be compromised on any pitch. Rodrigo De Paul's ferocious response mirrors the exact heartbeat of millions of loyal fans who follow every step of Lionel Messi's historic journey across the globe. This was never just another routine regular season match on the North American calendar. This was about standing tall to defend the honor and legacy of the greatest footballer humanity has ever had the privilege to witness. The fiery midfielder snapped because he could not stomach watching an iconic world-class Messi goal get wasted without securing all three crucial points. At the end of the day, Inter Miami's defensive collapse ended up overshadowing another breathtaking masterpiece from a legend who is still giving every ounce of sweat to carry this team on his back. This painful five-game winless drought stands in glaring contrast to the unquenchable hunger burning inside the legendary number 10. He continues to display an astonishing level of physical conditioning and pure elite class, even in the twilight chapters of his legendary career. For the true believers and die-hard supporters of the superstar, every single touch of the ball from Lionel Messi is a genuine masterpiece that deserves to be celebrated and shielded at all costs. That brilliant, razor-sharp assist from De Paul, setting up the captain, laid bare the undeniable chemistry and understanding running between them. It is a tactical and emotional bond forged during those unforgettable, historic triumphs in the Qatar World Cup and the Copa America with Argentina. When De Paul puffs out his chest to confront an opponent and demand respect, he is firing a direct warning across the entire league. Nobody gets to push around or disrespect the genius wearing the number 10 jersey while they are sharing the pitch together. This fierce, almost obsessive protection around Messi becomes even more intense when you look at the astronomical numbers fueling the historic battle for soccer supremacy. With 923 official career goals registered in the record books to date, Messi is not merely playing the game. He is tearing up and rewriting the history books with every single matchday. The relentless pursuit of the all-time scoring crown against Cristiano Ronaldo, who holds 97 goals, keeps the entire football world on edge, as every strike from Lionel Messi pushes him closer to the monumental 1,000-goal mark, a historic feat that most experts once dismissed as mathematically impossible in the brutal reality of modern football. Dedicated football fans know that the 54-goal gap separating him from the Portuguese icon can vanish rapidly whenever the Argentine maestro catches fire. That is why the crushing defeat against Toronto stings so deeply for every single supporter of the Herons. The squad urgently needs to restore its tactical discipline and rediscover winning form before Messi's individual brilliance gets completely swallowed by collective breakdowns. The mounting injuries, the glaring defensive errors, and the severe lack of composure in the middle of the park keep forcing the Argentine deep into his own half just to see the ball, taking on heavy midfield duties that should belong entirely to the playmakers. Even when trapped by a suffocating web of markers and deep defensive lines, the magician still carves out passing lanes where no one else sees space. That pinpoint delivery from De Paul met Messi's immaculate run-in behind, delivering a flash of pure magic that instantly reignited belief and passion across the roaring home stands. That relentless competitive fire and ruthless drive for perfection keep the Argentine maestro standing squarely at the center of the global football stage. The pressure and tactical demands on this squad will inevitably skyrocket over the coming days, because any team fortunate enough to field the greatest player in history cannot afford to grow complacent after several painful setbacks in a row. De Paul's fiery reaction out on the pitch was simply the first clear sign that the dressing room is boiling over and ready to deliver a fierce response next match. There is simply no denying that witnessing the prime era of Lionel Messi remains a rare and extraordinary privilege for anyone who truly loves this sport. Even amid painful collective stumbles, the brilliance of our number 10 continues to light up stadiums and push the boundaries of football history. So what do you make of De Paul stepping up and drawing the line to protect his captain like that? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below and hit subscribe right now so you never miss another beat in the world of Messi. Until next time.